This is training video number 10. This is for OCC life groups and how to lead a life group to help someone move. We thought it might be helpful just to put together a video to give you some of the important highlight or bulleted out points that'll really help you lead your life group in helping one of your other group members or maybe somebody else in the church or maybe an unchurched friend move. So here's some kind of goals to helping you accomplish that. First of all, there really are some goals in this type of serving event, and it offers just an opportunity for your group obviously just to serve and put the goals and interests of one another above their own. And it's really a practical way to really help someone who's in need of just a lot of people for a short period of time. I've moved a few times, and it's always just been a real blessing when people come and help. We can get the job done quickly. It also is possibly a time to do some relational evangelism. If you're helping a friend who's far from God move, or if maybe you're including somebody in your move to help who's far from God, to help a person move that they might be connected with, or even just if it's someone in your life group you're helping move and there's a family member of theirs that maybe doesn't know God. Our church, your group coming and our church helping is really going to go far as a good witness for what it means to follow Christ and love each other. This also is a value-shaping experience where people are able to take some of the content that you're discussing in groups and put it in action, a time to serve kind of shoulder to shoulder with one another, and then it just meets a real practical need for someone who's moving. So here's a few things that I'd really encourage you. None of these are mandates, but I'd highly encourage you to work through and help the mover establish in order for you to be a help. So first, you need to establish that the move is on an adequate date and time for the group to help. If not, if it's already not on a Saturday morning, suggest a Saturday morning or a Saturday afternoon or something like that. If not, just limit the expectation of how many people will actually be able to help. If it's a Wednesday night or even a Wednesday morning, not that many people are going to be able to help, and just let the mover know that may be the case. Try to get at least 10 days to 2 weeks notice of the move unless, extraneous circumstances exist. And again, just limit expectations if it's less than that. Like I may or may not be able to get that many people just because we didn't give enough notice. So you don't have to beat them up for that, but it's just best to get as much notice as you possibly can. This is kind of important. I would only offer, and this probably should be a requirement for life groups, I would only offer about a few hours of your life group's time to a move. Don't offer anything more than a few hours. I mean, you could bump past that a little bit or go below that, obviously, but I wouldn't require life group members to serve that much longer than that. And then let the mover know that you're only going to ask current life group members to help you move. You're not going to send out an all-church email. You're not going to invite all their friends and family. You want to encourage them to ask their friends at OCC, ask their family, their outside friends to help, and then you'll ask the group and see if you can supply some people from the group. That way you're limiting expectations, and then they know that there's a certain element of responsibility on their part to try to get some people there. What you don't want them to do is to contact a staff member to try to coordinate a move for them at OCC. You are the main point of contact in coordinating a move at OCC, and all you're really going to do is reach out to your life group. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask and I can clarify for you. Let's see. Request that the mover rents a U-Haul or something like that. It's not a must, but this is highly important. Moves just go a lot better when there's a rental truck. If the person can't afford it and you think it's appropriate, consider offering to come up with the cost for that for them. Maybe you can help share the load with some group members or cover it yourself, but try to encourage them to rent a truck. I wouldn't offer any of your life group members trucks for them to use. I would just limit that expectation just in case anything were to go wrong. Their family and friends can supply trucks or people they ask one-on-one, but I don't want you as a life group leader to ask your life group members to use their trucks to help someone move, as kind of a point of policy. See if the mover will already be packed before the actual move date. If they're not, then again, it's just limiting the expectations that, hey, we're going to be here for about 3 hours, and whatever we get done in 3 hours is all we can commit to. Maybe their family and friends can stay longer. And if they need help preparing for packing in advance of the move, then maybe you can send out a request to a few volunteers or maybe a few ladies who can help in that way in the evenings or during the day, just to kind of help pack up the kitchen and load boxes, fill up boxes and whatnot. So that's also another good way that your group can serve in addition to just the big move from home to home on a Saturday. Again, that's if you think it's appropriate to help in that way. Clarify that drinks and at least a small snack will be served during the move. If not, just go ahead and supply that yourself for the group. Most people do that, but occasionally I've run into moves where you show up and it's hot and everybody's working hard and there's nothing to drink. I mean, you can't even get water out of the hose, so we've had to run to the store and buy some drinks and snacks and bring it back. So just make sure that they're going to have something, and if not, just bring it yourself as kind of a gift to the movers and to the person moving. Request also that at least one member of the family that's moving maybe stay put near the front of the house or wherever all the their belongings are coming in, so they can point and coordinate people where to go and place that item. Sometimes when people help unpack in the new location, they'll just pile everything up in 1 or 2 rooms, and then that makes it kind of double work for the homeowner. So it's really in their best interest if one of them just decides, maybe it's the wife, maybe it's a kid, maybe it's the husband even, and they're just not going to lift a lot of stuff. They're just going to let us lift everything for them, and they're going to tell us where to put it. And that's really an important thing to do. It's probably also something similar like that should be done on the loading up side. At least one person who's able to direct the loading of the trailer. That doesn't necessarily have to be the homeowner. Maybe it's you or somebody else who's just there really directing how to maximize the space to its best capacity. Now, working with your group, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to promote the moving event to your group members only, not to really anybody else in the church. You could promote it with email, text, or in person. Explain that this is a serving opportunity that the move provides, and this is a chance to live out Heart Attitude number 1, and be clear about the start and finish times, roughly clear. And then let group volunteers know about beverages and food being provided at the move in case some volunteers require additional refreshment options. You also don't want to apply too much pressure to your group to participate in this way. You just want to make the need known, give the details, and how make it easy, obvious, and strategic for them to participate, and then just leave it in their hands to volunteer or not. And again, some of that may require limiting the expectation of the mover. I hope this is helpful. Please feel free to ask any questions.